Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Aurorus and a team around it, which I played quite often. We're going to have a double grassline here, which is kind of rare to be seen, but this team works out really well. Aurorus is currently spawning in the current adventure week for an entire week, which is going to be very nice, as this Pokemon is going to be one of the best Pokemon to have for both Great and Ultra League, especially for the Great League in some certain cups. We had just recently a cup where Aurorus was one of the best Pokemon to have, so definitely try to get one during this week, as you're going to be able to get actually PvP IVs for like the first time really, where you can really grind them. There were like some events before where this Pokemon also spawned, but it was very rare to be found like in the wildness. Well, this event is going to be really cool. Like, I went outside today, got already a shiny from both of the new ones, which is really nice to see, but also just a lot of cool spawns, so definitely a cool event. Here we're going to have a team here, of course, with the Sub of Virizion, which is going to run Stone Edge, which is going to give it a little bit of a better coverage for a lot of Pokemon. Ideally, I actually would say that Stone Edge plus Leaf Blade would be the best, but I don't want to get rid of Sacred Sword because Sacred Sword is a legacy move. So here we're going to have now Stone Edge and Sacred Sword, which still works out fairly fine, but there were some scenarios where we got kind of walled by, for example, a Tapu Fini, where I would have loved to have the Leaf Blade as coverage, but yeah. Here we're going to have Stone Edge and the Sacred Sword, which also can work out pretty fine. But otherwise, this team definitely worked out really well. I think I went actually like 7 and 5, I think I went with this team, so that's totally fine for it. Definitely climbed some elo. I think around like 20 points I climbed with this team. I'm at like 2,970 right now, and I could not find opponents for like ages. I just did 4 sets, and it took me exactly 2 hours to finish 4 sets, which is insane. Usually I'm done with 6 sets in that time, like not even that time, like 1.5 hours. Like, nobody is playing Ultra League right now, so I might make a poll after this one where I'm going to ask on also YouTube community tab. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe so you get this in the box as well. But what kind of league you want to see for this week? Maybe I'm going to focus a little bit more on the other cup that's currently available for the Great League meta, because we're also going to have the Little Cup next week, which nobody going to play anyway, so I might just gonna focus a little bit more with the current Fossil Cup in this week, and then do a little bit more Ultra League for the next week. But I have to see a little bit about this, but this might be my plan right now. But otherwise, we're going to have here the Meteor Beam coming through against the opponent, going to get a shield against the Deoxys, and we can align our Pokemon. But sadly, the opponent going to have a Pokemon in the back that I don't appreciate. I still remember this game, because it's going to be the Trevenant of the opponent, which going to do a ton of damage against me, as we already had to eat one charge move from the opponent. And here I most likely make a mistake as far as I can see that, because I should have let this move go through. The reason why I lose this game here right now, spoiler alert, I'm going to lose this game, is purely because my Trevenant doesn't have the shield anymore, and my Trevenant really needed the shield. Like, I would have still been able to get the move off here, the opponent still would have needed 2 charge moves against me, and I would have put them into farm down range for my Trevenant, and this is just such a bad play by me, which I most likely wouldn't have done if it wasn't like late at night and I was annoyed at the game. So yeah, other thing, one very important very important thing right now for you as well. If you have a Go++, don't play Go Battle League while you have it connected. There's currently a bug around, which happened to me quite often, but now we figured out that it's because of the Go++, as far as I know, where you're just going to be in the game and all of a sudden you cannot attack anymore. Like, nothing going to happen anymore. You're just going to get knocked out by the opponent the entire time. It's going to lag like crazy. So be sure that you disconnect your Go++ before you play Go Battle League, because otherwise you're going to, like, you can get those issues. It's not guaranteed. It's not every game, but it happens quite often. So definitely make sure that you don't have your Pokemon Go++ connected. I'm not sure if it's an app version thing or if it's like a new device thing, so like could be also for the other auto catchers. I would just not connect any of them, because right now it causes a lot of issues, so definitely stay tuned there and just hope that Niantic going to acknowledge that. I already reported it. I know that people are looking into that, so we're going to hopefully see some results for that soon, but currently don't have your Pokemon Go++ connected while you're playing. Otherwise, here we're going to get a team where we're going to get completely hard-walled by the opponent, but we still 2 shields up. And as you can see here, completely hard-walled from the from the start till the finish, with the Virizion in the lead. I think there was some other dark type as a swap there that was a little bit tricky. I think it was like the Skunking or something that was tricky for my Virizion, and now we're going to get walled by the Guslord here, which is really, really bad, of course. Like, literally every single Pokemon got walled here, but still Aurorus is coming in clutch. Aurorus is going to be able to flip all of them. Here we're going to be able to get some damage against the opponent, and now we still have 2 shields left, and from a complete hard counter matchup here, we went from winning with 2 shields left, which is kind of wild. Of course, the opponent had some energy to get to moves, but of course they didn't throw because they know that they had 2 shields. Next opponent, we're going to have the Dragonite against us in the lead. This is going to be pretty decent for us, as they're going to also now swap out into the Swampert, where we can go ahead and go into our Trevenant, we outspeed them, and you're going to see me use a shield here as well. You don't have to do this, but I am fairly certain if they use a shield, it's going to be an Earthquake. They would be able to get the shield anyway with the Hydro Cannon now if I let the move go through. So like this is the safest play that I could have went for, and I can go ahead and go for one charge move here that will allow me to get to a Shadow Ball against the incoming Dragonite as well, which is going to be very nice, as this Shadow Ball is going to nearly knock them out already. This is going to get the shield though. It's going to get the shield, so I'm totally fine with this one as well. We don't get the extra fast move in. The game honestly bugged so much for me as well. Like, not all of them are in there. There were also some teams that didn't work for me, which I then threw away afterwards and only did like play like 3-4 games. But there were like some really big issues again for the game today. It was not a lot of fun to play. I'm very happy that I'm done. I can make this video right now. I can go to bed afterwards. So that's totally fine. Here we're going to have the Cresselia against us. I tried to catch the move here, didn't work out, but we can at least still survive a move with the Virizion, which is really nice, as we can go ahead and go for the Stone Edge here. This is going to get the knockout against the opponent. In comes the Dragonite, which it didn't get the knockout, by the way. It did get a ton of damage, but here we're going to get the knockout with a Stone Edge, and we will see the Cresselia coming back in. They're forced to go for a charge move here, which is going to be the Grass Knot. They must have 2 stored right now, but I have a move stored onto my Aurorus as well. This is all we need to get the knockout, thanks to the move that we got through against the Cresselia beforehand. So, next opponent, Gliscor lead. Very good lead for us, and also a very decent save-swap for us, but honestly, I kind of played this the worst possible way. I feel like I just don't know the calcs for the blasters here. Maybe I could have been able to just survive this Ice Beam here and just went for a charge move afterwards. Maybe I just went for the shield here. Maybe I could have farmed them all the way down here. I'm fairly certain I could have farmed them all the way down there. I feel like this was a misplay to throw here at all. I sure just went for the full farm down. Like this, they can go back into the Gliscor. They're going to be able to shield up most likely the Shadow Ball here right now, but they can just go ahead and get a ton of energy, and this is going to be a tricky one for later, as they can go for the full farm down. Of course, they're going to go for a charge move here first, so they don't have to shield another time, but now they have like around a Night Slash stored, and we're going to see basically the issue that I said before already. Tapu Fini in the back, and Tapu Fini in the back, especially in this scenario here right now, is going to be a little bit tricky, as of course we don't run Leaf Blade. If I had Leaf Blade, this would have been a very easy matchup, would have been able to win this matchup here for sure, and would have won this game, but like this, I don't even get to another move, which is kinda unfortunate as well. This time around at least we're gonna get the fast move in, which is really nice, but it does not really matter too much. I'm gonna overfarm to 100 energy, go for the Meteor Beam here, and we will see that I can get the buff, but I have to get to 2 Weather Balls, and we see it's a Peter right now. If this is an Earthquake from the opponent, this game is over, and we will see right now it is going to be an Earthquake. So while we kind of hardrolled the opponent, they played it fairly well, and of course the final Pokemon as well was not really ideal for me to deal with the Tapu Fini, but they were able to win the game. So good game to the opponent, well played by them. Like, I cannot really say anything against it, they basically played it perfectly. I could have played it way better with the Trevenant Blasters matchup already, so definitely lost that fair and square. Well played by the opponent, as we're going to encounter now an Umbreon against us. This is a Pokemon that I wish I just had against my Virizion, but I at least going to be able to still win this matchup here, which is going to be nice, as the Weather Ball is coming through here, and we will see that I can now be able to knock them out with another Weather Ball here, which is going to be very nice. In comes the Swampert. I'm going to farm up extra just so I can get to a move later on, and I can swap out into my Virizion. This will allow me to still keep my best answer in the bag, and I'm gonna get out the Clefable, which is kind of interesting, as Clefable is going to be a Pokemon that is very strong in this meta right now, but we can do a ton of damage against Pokemon with Stone Edge, which is nice, And I'm actually gonna go ahead and shield this move up, because I should be able to force a shield by the opponent here, because this could be a Stone Edge and they don't really have a lot of Pokemon left. And this worked out really well, as the opponent goes for another charge move here. This should be also basically all the energy that they have. And like this, I can go ahead and go into my Aurorus, go for one charge move here, Weather Ball, go for another charge move here, Swampert is swapping in, great play by the opponent. But I can swap out into my Trevenant, and they're gonna go ahead and go basically straight for their charge move here with the Hydro Cannon. I can overfarm by a little bit, or the Earthquake already, never mind. I can overfarm by quite a bit here and knock them out, as I still have a shield left. The opponent is basically out of energy with a Clefable after this charge move, hopefully, and I will be able to go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb to knock them out. So yeah, it's going to be a good game, and yes, I'm a little bit tired, so maybe if I say some random stuff, don't mind me. It's been a long day, and it was not really enjoyable to play the game right now. I'm honest with that. I'm always honest. Gliscor is kind of a core breaker. Hindsight, I should have went into my other Pokemon. I should have went into my, what's called, the Virizion, because, like, this is the thing. With this Pokemon, if the opponent would have run the Aerial Ace would have completely destroyed my other Pokemon like this. It's going to be definitely a matchup where you would have had your Virizion in there, because especially you have Stone Edge, which just one-shots the opponent, so that was definitely a misplay by me. But I'm still going to be able to get a shield advantage here, which maybe can come in clutch later on. We will find out here, as we will be able to now get out the Dragonite. And I made a huge mistake here again. I wanted to go for the Stone Edge first, and then decided, no, I'd rather go ahead, go into my Aurorus, and my opponent takes advantage of this. They were able to outspeed me, but my opponent makes also some very weird plays here. Look at this. They're gonna go for the shield, which doesn't make sense because I still have another move stored here, so they're gonna get knocked out. And now in comes the Gliscor, and I can still outspeed them. And now let's see what they're going to have in the back. It's going to be the Nidoqueen, and they just forfeit. This was such a weird one. I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of weird. We're going to have the Skuntank against us here in the next game, where we can go ahead and go either straight for the Weather Ball or straight for the Meteor Beam. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and go for the Weather Ball bait here, as this is going to get the not shield, not knockout, not nothing. But what we're going to find out here right now is that this is a huge misplay, because 2 Weather Balls are by 1 HP, not enough to knock out the opponent. And they can go for another charge move here. And in comes a Heracross, which I have never seen in the Ultra League, to be fair. But it seems to be fairly decent right now against my team, because it kinda core breaks it. And it does not get better, because you have a Giratina in the back, which is also not a Pokemon that you really want to face as a fighter usually, unless your name is Scrafty. Yeah, basically it's Scrafty. I want to say Obstagoon, but Obstagoon is not even a fighter, it's just a pseudo fighter because of counter. But yeah, this is not really looking too good here right now. You're gonna see the Dragonclaw coming through. We will be able to go ahead and go into our Trevenant, but it is not really looking too good for us here right now. As you can see, the Dragonclaw gonna get shielded, and the Heracross comes in. My only play is to go hope that they're going to let this move go through here, and let's see. We gonna get the boom at least at the end as they let the move go through, but of course, Giratina, it is just too spammy. Like, it can't just go for a Shadow Sneak. There's not a lot that I can do. I also just not gonna throw a charge move here. No reason for that. But this next game going to be a very interesting one. We're going to encounter Shadow Warren in the lead. What are we going to do? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go for the Weather Ball bait. If they're going to forfeit, it's going to be nice, and they do forfeit, which is amazing for us. Yes, now I'm going to go ahead and shield up the move. It's going to be the Earthquake, and like this, we are really far ahead in terms of energy, because they wasted so much energy on their Earthquake. We can go ahead and go for the Meteor Beam, get the boost here, and now we can shield up again. It's going to be another Earthquake. We can just go for the big boom here. This is going to knock them out. We are double buffed right now. We have extra energy. We still have a lot of health. And in comes a Giratina right now. And I did not expect to see this Pokemon coming in against me. And you see the damage output is insane. But by them going into a Giratina, I expect them to have a Charizard in the back. So that's why I swapped out into my Virizion, and I have Stone Edge here. And literally everything works out perfect here. Going to be able to just knock them out there. And the opponent had enough at this point of time. And I also had enough of playing the game for today. So I hope you still enjoyed this video. It's a little bit late for me, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. And check out the 2 videos on the screen right now. One is the top teams for the Ultra League. Maybe fitting for you right now. Bye bye.